quiet, not too much noise. Guys, I just found out that at Donald Trump's Pennsylvania rally, shots were fired. And it looks like Donald Trump has had blood on him, but reports are saying that he is safe. And this is going to open up a Secret Service investigation. Y'all, this is serious. I knew that the evil powers that be don't want this man to live. We're going to have to pray harder for him more than ever. I just found this out a few minutes ago. I had to run out and run an errand real quick, and now I'm back. I usually don't work on Saturdays, but I had to pray about it. This is something major, and then I found out that the shooter and an audience member are deceased. This is horrific news. This is shocking. And it takes me back to that interview that Donald Trump had with Tucker Carlson, where he asked him, he said, the impeachments didn't work. What if the indictments don't work? Aren't you afraid that they might try to get rid of you? Unalive you. He used another word, but I'm going to say unalive for purposes of this video. But see, they are desperate right now. Whoever this is, I don't know who the shooter is. I don't know if it was someone that was just some lone person separate from politics that just didn't like, just a voter, you know, just a civilian that just doesn't like Trump, that has TDS, or if this person was connected somehow to some political figures that don't want Donald Trump to be president, and they fear that that is what's going to happen, and they got this person, to take the fall guy, to take the blame. I don't know. But this is horrifying. This is beyond, and it's got to be troubling to his family, to Donald Trump's family. You guys, we got to pray more than ever. We have to pray. He held out a fist in defiance because he wants to be president to, in his mind, make things right. And a lot of us believe that Donald Trump is chosen by God to do this. But this is serious. We really have to pray for him daily, several times a day, really diligently, because they are so desperate right now. This is a battle between good and evil once is just so desperate. And I've said it over and over again that the demon rats are desperate. Thank you guys for joining me. Yes. And a lot of people are saying that Donald Trump, with this happening, just won the election, because it doesn't appear to have really injured him severely at all. I didn't have a whole lot of time to investigate before I got on this live stream. I just saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. I mean, this is whoa, 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 whoa. And so I am going to, you guys probably have already seen this already, but anyway, I am going to share this with you.
Mind.
Oh, it's not saying anything. I can't hear it.
Carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind the bleachers.
You helped carry the man yourself. What was his condition when you were carrying?
He's deceased. He died.
How close were you to him?
A couple yards. I mean, it wasn't very far.
Did you know the man?
No, it's a complete stranger. They put a towel over his head and then carried him off.
And you said there was another woman nearby who was also injured. Where was she in relation to him?
I believe she was in the bleachers, like either behind, above me, or just to the side of him. But it seemed like she was kind of up my flank, and then she flinched, and it looked like she had taken a gunshot wound to the forearm and hand.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard multiple gunshots, 8 to 11 shots. We've been hearing it replayed on the video here. Do you remember, can you tell, I know it was a chaotic scene, but at what point, was it immediately when you heard the gunshots that he was shot, or was it later on into the firing?
The first 7, he was hit and she was hit within the first 7 shots. I counted 7 shots.
What was going through your mind? You were right there. I know it happened so quickly, but what can you tell us about those moments?
first I was in shock because I know what gunshots sound like, so I knew they were gunshots. I couldn't tell from where they were coming from. And when I noticed someone got hit, then I noticed, well,
You can see Donald Trump saying, fight, fight. Oh, okay. Let me read some of your comments. This is from all of the rhetoric. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and see, the rhetoric against Donald Trump is not true. And you're saying that the racist rhetoric against him is making people believe the lies and that they think that they're doing something right, like they're, but he's not evil like the media portrays him to be. They do, because they are spewing lies about this man and they got people all pumped up and everything.
Witness the whole thing. It seemed like he had several family members in the bleacher with him, and they were quite upset. They didn't know. They were in shock. They didn't quite know what's going on, but the man was definitely killed instantaneously.
Could you tell us sort of how many family members or people who knew him were with him, and what was their reaction?
I thought there was 5 people. Two of them were relatively hysterical. So, but they were, when we took the man out of the bleachers, he went to the tent. There was an aid tent or some type of tent behind the bleachers where they took the body, and they immediately evacuated the family with them. And 2 out of the 5, it seemed like, shocked, hysterical. Like they were still trying to process what was going on.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard the shots. We saw the president go down.
Yeah, I saw President Trump get hit.
Yeah. What can you tell us? What details you remember?
It seemed like his head was off to the side, and it seemed like he got nicked in the ear.
Was that before the Secret Service took him down to the ground, covered him?
Right before the Secret Service. I mean, it was maybe, again, it's hard to tell, time dilates when, it seemed like it was a second or two. Like that first 7 shots that went off, the man got hit. He was killed almost instantly. The woman in the bleachers, she got injured, like she got hit in the forearm and the hand. And then in those rounds that were fired, again, I was videoing the event, so that's when I saw Trump get hit. And it seemed to me like he was looking to the side and the round grazed his ear. So.
Could you tell the gentleman that was hit in the head what angle he was in relation to the former president, like which direction the bullets were coming from and to?
So it looked like he was facing the president at the very far left portion of the bleachers. So he's directly facing it. Again, it seemed to me like the shots were coming from the rear, like behind us. And for me, it seemed like the man was in the way. Like, I guess.
In the way of the former president?
No, it seemed like the man was in the way of the shots between whoever was shooting the gun and the president. The man was hit. It seemed like he was in the crossfire.
And I know. And I know you're in shock and still processing all of this. It's sort of hard to evaluate our own emotions in this moment, but you just experienced something horrific.
Yes.
What can you tell us about your state of mind right now?
Yeah, I've had opportunities to go to these rallies before. It's the first one I ever went to. Had time off to go do it. I was kind of excited to go, but it's everyone. It's something you don't expect. It comes out of the blue. It's like a bolt out of the blue, and it's shocking. The way politics goes in this country, it just seems like it's really polarized. Everyone's just very angry. I'm honestly shocked this didn't happen earlier.
Wow, he said he's honestly shocked that this didn't happen earlier. And that thought, like I said, I remember Tucker Carlson interviewing Donald Trump saying the impeachments didn't work. What if these indictments don't work? Aren't you afraid that they're going to try and get rid of you? And Donald Trump just looked at steely-eyed look that he had in the mugshot. He said these people are evil. And at one point, I did not like Donald Trump because I was fooled, brainwashed by the propaganda media. But I'm telling you, God really told me that they're going after him and he's not guilty of the things that they're accusing him of. I mean, when I saw those indictments come down last summer, I stood in front of the TV in my bedroom and I don't remember thinking anything. I just remember looking at, the news with all the indictments. And then shortly thereafter, I started praying. I said, God, please tell me the truth. And for some reason, I prayed, God, I want to know the truth about the Obamas, the Clintons, the Bidens, Trump, and Bushes. I want to know the truth about them. And I found out the truth. And God will answer our prayers if we're sincere, if we truly believe that he is who he says he is. And I was sincere. I just was like, I just started praying that. And then later I was reading my Bible, and I was reading about Paul, the Apostle Paul, being imprisoned. Because, all throughout the Bible, innocent people who were doing the right thing were martyred, were beaten, mistreated, imprisoned, you know. And God said that's what they're trying to do to Trump. That's him. Like, he's not guilty of these things. And that's when I became pro-Trump. God doesn't lie, right? So, and unless you say, well, you don't know that you were hearing from God, that could have been something else, but I don't believe so. Yeah, that was the Lord. And I hate that this spectator died. This shooter, it looks to be, they're gone as well. And we need to find out who this shooter was connected to. Was this something that was conspired, or was it just a lone wolf, so to speak? Oh wow, I'm reading some of your comments. Deborah Langley said the Democrats are really scared because Biden won't concede to step down, and it's getting closer to November every day. What a murderous administration. I'll never vote Democrat again. Well, that's how I feel. I'm not voting Democrat again. And someone gave me, let me see, who was this? Someone gave me 9. Cam2, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much for that, Cam2, and I appreciate you for that. This is just so, I'm full of emotion right now, so I may stumble over my words and not speak clearly. I don't intend to, but this is very emotional. And this poor man right here, I'm going to go back to this video.
I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who are at the rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it. The words of Joe Biden after learning about this incident involving his predecessor and his current rival in the political environment of this 2024 campaign. The president has been briefed by top officials. He has been talking with Homeland Security officials, and he is at his home in Rehoboth, Delaware, where he has a full complement of the things needed for the office, where he can get the income streams of all the relevant information. This first statement coming from President Biden, I would not be at all surprised if we don't hear more from him tonight as new developments take place. Lester?
All right, Kelly, thank you for that. Terry Schultz is with the Butler County, Pennsylvania District Attorney's Office and was at the rally. She is still there and joins me on the phone. Terry, first of all, if you can just walk us through what you saw, where you were in this crowd.
You know what? We didn't have VIP seats. We were a few rows back. Enough that we could, see the former president, and then we were all standing there watching the jumbotron they had put him on. And the next thing we did was we hear 3 shots. I see kind of his head, the former president's head, go sideways. You can see kind of like, blood.
Oh, wow.
And
people giving the finger.
At that point, I wasn't looking at anything. I was with some friends. They were like, you need to get down. Everybody get down. The people around me, there were some young people crying. And to be honest with you, at the time this happened, I wasn't even sure they were gunshots. But then we heard like 3 or 4 shots, and then we heard shots kind of returned. A friend of mine videotaped that, and we just watched that, and that's what we saw and what we heard.
From your vantage point, were you able to see where the shots were coming from? Was it obvious?
It was not, but you could hear them, and as soon as you heard the shots, your head turned towards the left.
Mm.
We have a route that runs outside the Butler Farm Show, Route 68, and it sounded like the shots were coming from out there near the field to the left-hand side of where we were. So it certainly was scary.
You know, we look at the videotape and it appears some people didn't quite realize what was happening at the moment. Were you one of them who was not quite sure what you were witnessing?
A couple of months old, and if you want to really
absolutely. And again, until I was with some friends, and my girlfriend is like, you have to get down. People around us were pulling us down and saying, you have to get down. So I can tell you that it was chaos at the time.
And there's got to be, I'm pausing it for a moment, there's got to be a better way to protect him, because when Donald Trump is up there speaking, he's exposed. You know, I mean, how do you deal with that? Because honestly, the thought has come to my mind, like Lord, these people are desperate. What if they try to, you know? And I was scared. I was concerned about it. That's why I was praying, because I just felt like they were going to try and do it. And that feeling obviously had some validity to it, because look what happened. And because of all the desperation with the impeachments and the indictments, I was like, they clearly don't want this man to be breathing. And I can't believe we live in a country like this. We need to find out who that shooter is and who they're connected to. I know they're gone. They said that the shooter is deceased. And one spectator, one person at the rally, a man, was shot and killed instantly. And this is awful. He had a family member with him. God bless their family. You guys, I'm a mess almost. You know, I saw the blood on Donald Trump's, what was that? His right ear. It breaks my heart. The demon rats. That's why I call them demon rats, because they are the party of blood. They are bloodthirsty. They just are. And honey, I can't. And this right here is really going to make people some people who weren't sure about Trump, be sure that he's right. Throughout history, anyone that has stood for right, the evil powers that be came after them, put them in prison, tried to kill them. You know, this is just historical fact. But I thank God, and I know Donald Trump's life is not more precious than others, but I know God is using him for the good. And I'm so thankful that he survived that. And it looks like it was just a superficial wound. From my vantage point, you know, I'm looking at it, I'm not even at the rally, you know, but it looked like it was superficial, like it nicked his ear, his right ear. I know. They are so evil. Donald Trump kept saying, these people are evil, these people are evil, these people are evil. He says it all the time, these people are evil. And he was right. He's right. They are. You mean to tell me you're going to do what you did in the 2020 election, because you know it wasn't fair. Y'all know that, right? I try not to say what I really want to say, but they doled the election. They polled the election, rolled the election. The demon rats and some evil Republicans, they did that. They like to deal. They like to reel. And it was not done right. And yeah, truth is going to come out. All of it's going to come out. Everything. So if any political entity or some politicians that are desperate had anything to do with this, it is going to come out. And they are going to have to go to prison. I mean, come on, you tried to have someone taken out. They need to go. They need to go to prison. Who do you think was behind it? Do y'all have any specific thoughts of who could specifically have been behind this? I don't know. I have no clue. I'm not in the club. I don't know. My audio is low. Is my audio low? Are you guys having trouble hearing me? hoping you can hear me. I'm going to play this again.
Staff obtained by our colleagues here at NBC, Alan Smith and Matt Dixon. A top campaign official is telling staff members that everything is okay, that we have no details to share at this time, but saying they'll follow up soon with more information. They are directing staff members to not speak with members of the media. They want what they describe as a total lockdown here. They add that your personal safety is of the utmost importance here. To pray, remain vigilant, and be strong. That is the messaging now, according to NBC News, that Trump campaign staff members are getting from the top, as there is just, it is always, of course, it is chaotic in the moments after something like this happens. And it's also, I think, another reason to be extraordinarily careful in what and how we report what we know has occurred here in what is just a historic day here in the United States, Lester.
Yeah, and then, of course, Hallie, we are here on the weekend before the Republican National Convention. Obviously, there will be some changes. We don't know what is in effect, but we're hitting primetime campaign season now.
Yeah, we sure are, right? And this is a moment where everybody begins to pay attention, especially considering the start of the convention. I mean, think about it, Lester, not looking at the time here just after 8 o'clock Eastern, not maybe 3+ hours ago. You know, the biggest story that I think most campaign reporters were chasing was who Donald Trump picked to be his running mate. That was sort of much of the attention here on this rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. The conversation has clearly and necessarily changed very dramatically since then. I think one of the questions moving forward is going to be the movements of former President Trump. How long is he going to remain at the medical facility where he's at now? Where will he head after that? Does he still plan to be at the Republican National Convention starting on Monday? Obviously, that kicks off in Milwaukee.
You know, Donald Trump, the way he is, can you all hear me? Tell me how the audio is. Robert's saying the audio is low. I don't see my audio moving like it normally does. I'm not sure why that is. Can you all hear me? Just let me know. Let's see. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna try to fix the audio. I don't know why it's not coming through. Let's see. I'm not sure why it's not really registering like it normally does. I don't know. Can you hear me at all? Oh, the video is low. Okay.
From former President George W. Bush, House Speaker Mike Johnson, and on, Lester. And it does come on the eve of the Republican National Convention. Former President Trump, his campaign apparatus, Republicans all over the country poised to go to Milwaukee to officially nominate former President Trump as their party's nominee. And as Hallie was just saying, we anticipated and we were working on trying to determine who the former president would pick to serve as his vice presidential nominee. And now, of course, the focus has shifted to this horrifying topic of political violence and what this country needs to do to prevent something like this from happening again, Lester.
All right, Kristen Welker. Kristen, thanks very much. Let me reset here for our viewers just joining us in the Saturday evening. We are on the air with breaking news. There has been a shooting at Donald Trump's Pennsylvania rally this evening. The former president has been injured. How he was injured is not clear at this time. I want to pause here. We're going to roll the video of what happened just shortly after 6 p.m. here in the East while Mr. Trump was speaking. Here it is.
A bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
This was multiple shots. Multiple.
Moving his hair. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the stair. Stair, get ready. Stair, get ready. You ready? We're good. Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's move. We're clear. get my shoes. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes. Hold on, your head is bloody. So we gotta move to the car. Move to the car. Let me get my shoes. Okay, my shoes down.
He wants to get his shoes.
I want to bring in now Evie Poem-Pouris, a former Secret Service agent. We thank you for joining us again. We hear at one point, I didn't hear this in the earlier recordings, we hear at one point one of the tactical clothed individuals say the shooter is down. As you watch that unfold, I take it they were not prepared to move him until they knew where the threat was.
Yes, you can hear that clear line of communication, and the communication is very clear and succinct. Can we move? Are we clear? You hear shooters down, and you hear, are we clear to move? Clear to move. So you're hearing them speak to one another. And radio communication is one of the most important things. Actually, when it comes to comms, you always want to say less. You can hear them using very simple words, 3, 4 words. They just want to keep those airwaves clear so that the most important vital communication can pass. So they're making sure they hunker down. You see them surround him. He goes down to the ground. They all surround him. Again, when you're an agent, you're supposed to be a human shield. And in that moment, that is what they become. They become human shield. Your job in that moment is to protect your protectee, whoever that protectee is. So they all encompass him. And the other thing you do, you are designed to actually make yourself as big as possible to make sure that any potential rounds or shots that come, you don't want them to miss you and hit your protectee. So as they're hunkered down, they're locking him down. And if you look at the shot, actually, there's a shot where you can see the front of the stage, and around it, you'll see that design, that almost like a smaller, like a design barrier. It's got the flag around it. That typically, and I can't say whether it is or is not in this case, but in some scenarios, when you work as a side agent, you will pick a barricade that's actually something strong and sturdy. It could be concrete or steel. Usually it's some type of steel, and that is used for that when something does happen, unfortunately, like we're seeing here, they can actually get down to the ground so that they have some type of cover.
Well, I just want to pause it. You guys, this is, I always feared this would happen. Now, you know, it's been probably in most of our heads based on how the evil powers that be kept ramping up their attacks against Trump. So the only likely thing to think is, oh my gosh, what if they try to do the unthinkable? I pray for his safety. I pray for the family of the person that was just at the rally supporting Trump, and now that person is gone. Isaiah 54:17. I got to read that. There does need to be a better way to protect Texas lady. I agree with you, because he's too open when he's up speaking. I mean, someone from high up, you know, I mean, I just don't want, you know, but I'm pretty sure Secret Service checks all those other areas, that not just be in front of President Trump, but they check surrounding areas and high areas where someone could potentially do some harm from a high up spot. I'm sure that they do that. I'm sure that they, you know, address the area top to bottom. And they need to have metal detectors at these rallies where people have to go through a metal detector. We got to make sure you guys don't have weapons. You know, we got to make sure, because it could be somebody with a Trump shirt on pretending they're for Trump and not be for him. You know, they've been brainwashed. They believe the media. They try to make Trump look like some sort of dictator, and that's just simply not true. The media is lying to us on a daily basis. The propaganda media, I'm telling you, don't listen to them. Do the opposite. If they say Project 2025 is bad, it is not. I'm reading it now. I don't see any problem with it so far. Not currently. I don't. Haven't read the whole thing, but I did a video on it. You all should check it out. Of course, it's over 900 pages. I have not read the entire thing. So the media is telling us the opposite of truth. Okay, so do not believe the propaganda media. Clearly, they want this man gone because they are desperate. Their cases have fallen apart. And, you know, he got to be on all the ballots of every state. You remember some months ago, the Supreme Court ruled in Donald Trump's favor. And now all these things are being delayed. They're falling apart. And he's up in the polls. And Joe Biden doesn't want to sit down and pass the torch to Kamala Harris. They want him to do that. And now they are up in arms, desperate. So, mm. Oh, okay, you mean that? Yeah, yeah. God wasn't ready for him to come home. He has work for him to do. I believe that. I'm going to be doing a special interview. I got to see when that is. I have it on my calendar for August, I think. Let's see. Yes, I have a video that I'm going to push out probably August the 7th with Pastor McAnthony. He wrote a book called Trump the Great, and I will push it out on Wednesday, August the 7th. And he's going to talk about what God showed him regarding President Trump. And this man is from Africa, I believe. He's not even from the United States, but God has been dealing with this man. He's a pastor of a church as it pertains to American politics. And he believes that Donald Trump will get a second term in office. And that will be, I will push it out Wednesday, August the 7th, unless something happens, you know, if the Lord wills, Wednesday, August the 7th. And I'll probably push it out at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just mark that down. Be looking for that interview, that video. Be sure to share that video. It's very important information. It's prophetic, it's biblical. Again, his name is Pastor Cliff McAnthony. He wrote a book called Trump the Great. And we'll have lots more to talk about now that this has happened. This horrific event. Someone lost their lives. 2 people lost their lives. This is insane. This is insane. I always worried about it, but it's different when it actually happens. I'm so glad that Donald Trump is here with us still, you know. Yeah, you shouldn't radicalize people because it encourages someone who is not all the way well upstairs, you know what I mean, to go do something unthinkable. And this is what happens. So the propaganda media is partly to blame. You know, partly to blame. And you can honestly say that. To me, they are. And whoever this person is who did this, they're no longer with us. I hate for their families, but I pray that we find the truth. Was this person put up by someone higher up? You know, we don't know. You know, there's been plenty fall guys. Remember Lee Harvey Oswald with JFK? You know, he didn't do that by himself. That was political. You know, yes. I try to probably see, that's what I'm saying. You know, somebody can wear a t-shirt acting like they're a Trump supporter and not be. We need greater security. I don't know when you go to a Trump rally. I haven't been to one yet. I want to go to one. I don't know if they check people for weapons or not. They need to. They need to check them for weapons. They need to go through a metal detector. They need to get patted down. Y'all know what happened the other day, so don't act like you knew. Okay, don't act new. We have to do what we have to do to protect this man. And Secret Service, I admire their job. They take it as an honor. You know, they're supposed to be I don't know why my screen is doing it. They take it as an honor to protect the president, and they're supposed to be human shields. They have to be willing to take bullets for whoever they're protecting. In this case, Donald Trump. So I'm gonna try to stay strong. I want to go to a rally. I really do. I'm just praying, Lord, let it be safe. Let it be safe for everybody, not just me. Donald Trump, everybody. And his family must be beside themselves. Melania and the kids, the grandkids must be beside themselves, because this is awful. But Donald Trump is not the kind that'll back down. He is not the kind to back down. You know this. He put his fist up in the air and some man got mad and gave the finger. So it just makes people more determined is what it actually does. And it will open the eyes of people that demonize Donald Trump to maybe see. Some people don't see things initially. It has to get really bad before they finally see. And I'm not going to stay on this video long. I'm sorry, guys. I want to spend time with my family. I never really do this on a Saturday, but I just wanted to give this information to you guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Like, comment, share, subscribe, notification bell. Make sure your notification bells work. I'm really on my way to 40,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys supporting me, the super thanks, the stickers, joining the channel. I'm going to try and do something special for those of you who have joined my channel. I'm trying to decide how to do that. Maybe do special videos that are for members only. I'll probably start there. And you all can email me with some ideas, chatwithmelindaB@gmail.com. I'm on X, Instagram, and TikTok as ChatWithMeLindaB. And I'm on Rumble, ChatWithMeLindaB, but type it in as one word when you are on Rumble. Somehow I cannot edit that. So it's ChatWithMeLindaB, but type it in as one word when you are on Rumble. Yeah, so you guys, let's just stay prayed up and watch these course of events. And if there's ever any videos or anything you want me to respond to, you can send them to my email, chatwithmelindaB@gmail.com. So I want you guys to stay safe out there. Be blessed. You know, love God, your families, the United States of America. And as I always say, march on, warriors. Bye, guys.